So playing the blues to me, even though it's proper for the person to learn all of the positions possible,
Right.
but then you'll find it's kind of like, in my case, it's kind of like an ingredient rather, that you would be fixing a malt. You put something in, you know, put a little chocolate in it, the milk, and so on. Well, I think what I'm trying to say, you find the one that sounds the best to you, but learn them all.
Right.
Which I didn't. So when I come up here, if I do it slowly,
Something that most guitar players don't do is you bend up with the first finger. Most guitar players rely on their third finger to bend.
Yeah.
And I see in that position, you bend the C to a D on the 8th fret with your first finger. That's very unique. There you go, yeah.
or
Does that come out of the T-Bone Walker school, or is that something that you've added to his style?
I think it's something I added to it. Because, as I mentioned earlier, T-Bone was good with bending with this third finger there.
Right.
That's one of the things. That's all I can mimic. All I can remember. I wish they could have played exactly like him, but I found, though, that when I came up here to this position here, to the 8th fret, what I'm going to do here, I can't do that there. So I need something to sustain, something to hold my own mind to. In other words, I'm trying to make a point. So.
Right.
To me, that resolved back to there. And then sometimes, it's according to how carried away I might be, I might come up to the 10th fret and do the same thing.
Now, when you go up to the 10th fret, you're going to be playing over the 5 chord there,
chord,
right?
yeah.
Which would be the D in this case. Yeah.
Right.
To C and back down to G.
But I can't control it so down here as much.
Right.
But a lot of times using the D for the guy playing blues down here, this one comes good. Or if you're trying to play a chord, well, the C comes good down because it's lower and you got more body to me down here than you would have here. So I personally, though, I like it if we were playing, for instance, if you do a 1, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Then the 5. That's the way I resolve it.
Yeah, that was a beautiful lick that you played from over the D chord back down to the C chord.
Don't ask me to do it again.
Oh, okay.
Well, we'll try it anyway.
That was great. That was...
Try it again.
Okay. terrific.
The one thing, though, I think, playing the blues again, we kind of cut across the boundaries of proper progressions, and you sort of put the note in that sounds good. In other words, you may not run the whole chord. For instance, like we're in G, right? Well, if a guy is fast and can do it, like I know a lot of the guys got fast fingers and can do, well, my fingers are not so fast, so I think I used the word I called trading
speed for taste, maybe.
Yeah. So I would do, in the G chord, I might hit the tonic, push up on the C there, push it up to D again. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Back to the B
And
flat.
there's that bend again when you just
Yeah. Well, that's what I hear. So I'll take the 4 of the G,
right.
which is the C, right?
Right.
But I don't want to hit it. I don't want to hit the D first, so I like to slide up to it.
And then you take that B flat and just nudge it almost between B flat and B.
Right.
Yeah. That's great.
Now, sometimes if I got the time, I might bring it on up to, but most times it sounds better to me. Then I'd go back to the 1 again. Then, if I got enough time again and want to play around with it just a little bit, to the 5,
That would be the
right?
5 chord, right? Could you do that lick again? Because that's... So you're bending the...
Starting
on the E,
on
right?
the E, and go up to the F.
F sharp, right?
Then we come back down to the 8th fret again.
Right.
So I haven't played that many notes, but it's still
But
kind
you've
of going
said
to the
everything that
pattern.
needs to be said.
Well, anyway, that's the way I got started trying to do it. Well, also I find that country music as well as jazz, gospel, all of it creeps in there just a little bit into your blues feeling. So you want to, I guess if you were playing a tune that had a lot of changes, then you don't have to worry then about what note to put in because the notes are all there. For instance,
Right.
if I let's say it was now if you were doing that, well then you're busy anyway.
Right.
But if you're only playing just, hey, for 1, 4, and 5, 12-bar blues, well, you got to try to find something that's going to not only interest you, but interest the person that might be listening to you. So I think technically you got a lot to do. A lot to do because you got to really find, I quite often use the word like you have a road map. So you may stop by this mailbox and see who lives there and so on and so on. But when you're playing so and you could just keep going like that. But if you're playing blues, you need and you really got to be placing them in the right
Exactly.
place. So I think a lot of times, you know, people quite often say, well, anybody can play the blues. Yes, you can. Anybody can do most anything. But would you like it?
It's how you play the blues.
Yes, I think so.
Let's just go over that progression real quickly for our viewers. It would be, you'd play a G6, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the 3rd fret.
Yes.
To E7th on the 5th fret.
Right.
To A7th on the 5th fret.
Yeah.
To D7th on the 3rd fret.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see, what kind of tune could I play? So you could play, I guess, it's so many tunes you could play using that kind of progression. Then maybe what we call a little bridge after that you could put in there. So it's a lot that you can do, and you can make that bluesy. It can be very bluesy if I had anything in my head that could bring out a melody, really.